to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest of all.
Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
You're listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest of all.
Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
Hello, Miami Dolphins fans. How are you today? And thank you for listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast on this Monday evening, March the 31st. I'm your host, Mike Oliva, flying solo today as we have a lot to talk about in the world of the Miami Dolphins. The NFL league meetings are taking place. Mike McDaniel spoke to the media on Monday morning. We'll go over a few of the things he said. The NFL passed a new rule regarding alternate and throwback uniforms and what that means for the Dolphins. We'll talk a little bit about that. And we will also talk about Calais Campbell and his future, if there is one, with the Miami Dolphins. If you're watching this on YouTube, please smash that like button right now, that little thumbs up. Go down there, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. It's always a big help. And put up a comment here in the comment section as you listen to the show. Let me know if you agree or if you don't agree with some of the things I say. And I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's show, Caneswear. Everyone go to the website, caneswear.com. They have the best Miami Dolphins apparel on the internet. If you need a Miami Dolphins hat, jersey, polo, hoodie, jacket, socks, anything with a Miami Dolphins logo on it for your car, for your house, caneswear.com has it all. They also have stuff for the Miami Hurricanes. They have stuff for the Florida Panthers, Miami Heat, Florida Marlins. So I also got some stuff for the Florida Gators and Florida State, as well as the other college teams in the state of Florida. But if you're a Dolphins fan, you want to go to caneswear.com for the very best Miami Dolphins apparel, the best priced Miami Dolphins apparel that you will find anywhere on the internet. So caneswear.com. If you like this podcast and you're a fan of us here at DolphinsTalk.com, please be sure to sign up for Dolphins Talk Extras. $3 a month. $3 a month. You get bonus podcasts, some about the Dolphins, some not about the Dolphins. We have shows about Major League Baseball, the NBA, pro wrestling, movies, TV, all that good stuff. We also have a private message board, and we give away contests, and we have contests where we give away a ton of prizes. Patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. Patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. And for all our listeners, we're running a contest right now. You can win. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. I'll put it up. This 2025 Miami Dolphins draft cap. The caps that all the players at the NFL draft at the end of April will be wearing after they are selected. We're giving it one away. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcast, find our podcast on Apple Podcast, put up a 5-star rating, and write a positive review. 5-star rating, write a positive review, take a screenshot of it, and email it to DolphinsTalk1977@gmail.com, DolphinsTalk1977@gmail.com. And on April 7th, I'll take all the entries, and we got a lot of them coming in, scramble them live on the air, and we will pick a winner, and that person wins a 2025 Miami Dolphins draft cap. They're really cool. Any size, any style you want. They have a few different variations. We'll get you one. So please be sure to sign up for a chance to win the hat. All right, let's get into this Mike McDaniel media session first. And a couple things before I get into what he spoke about. Number one, one of the things I actually really like about Mike McDaniel is that he is great tap dancing around questions. Sometimes, whether it's at a press conference after a game or like midweek or at a atmosphere like this or at the combine or league meetings when he has to do a media session, he's asked things he doesn't want to answer. And Mike McDaniel is very good at saying a lot of words, a little bit of a word salad, and not really answering it, just sort of tap dancing around the question. To be a head coach, you have to be successful at that. And I give Mike a lot of credit for having that skill. Not everyone does. Our last head coach, Brian Flores, he did not. He was sweating like Mike Tyson at a spelling bee when he was up there. He could not. If someone asked him something he didn't want to answer, he just didn't know how to handle it. Mike is good at it. So some of these answers he gives, and I'm going to have to shorten them. They are very long. I'm just going to get to the heart of the matter because he is great at saying a ton of words and 80% of them mean nothing. You sort of get to the heart of it. That's number one. Number two, and for those who listened to the show I did with Tom Sunday night, at the end we spoke about Tyreek Hill and everything going on with him in social media. And I know, as I said, some fans are like, well, who cares? It's no big deal. But then there's fans like me who go, no, this is a distraction that never goes away. And here's your proof today. Mike McDaniel is at the league owner meetings. Well, he's getting asked questions about if he's on the hot seat. He's getting asked questions about the draft, who they signed, why they signed him, Armstead, Campbell. 5 of the first 6 questions he was asked. 5. So he's only there for like 15 minutes. 5 of the first 6 questions were on Tyreek Hill. That's why this silly stuff that Tyreek does on social media is a distraction. You think Mike McDaniel wanted to sit there? You think when he went to the league meetings on Saturday, when he's checking into the hotel, getting there on Sunday, whenever, he's like, Monday morning, I got to answer 5 of the first 6 questions are going to be on Tyreek Hill if he wants to be here, team captain. Did he put up something Sunday on social media that he wants out of Miami? It's all that bullshit. And that's why it's a distraction, not only to Mike McDaniel, not only the entire team, to everyone in the organization from media relations down. It's just, and that's why this stuff matters. I'm not going to go on the whole rant again. If you want to hear what I said, Sunday show with Tom, fast forward to the end, you can hear my thoughts on the Tyreek Hill matter. But 5 of the first 6 questions were on Tyreek, and let's get into it right now. Mike McDaniel was asked, what if Tyreek Hill is voted captain in 2025 after he quit versus the Jets in the last game last year? And yesterday on Sunday, he went on social media saying, peace out, I don't want to be here. Yes, we know he's probably trolling. The fact is, when he does that, though, real news picks it up as real news. They're not going to say, well, he's trolling. That's not, he said it, okay? So this has to be covered real. So that's the first question. Mike McDaniel, I know it's a tough spot. What do you want me to say? But he was clearly coached up on his answer. I think that's a great question because I think our team in that scenario, I would be pumped if he was voted captain. Mike, you're lying through your bleeping teeth. I would be pumped if he was voted captain because I think that Tyreek being accountable for who he is as a competitor and what he's learned from in his journey. Oh my God, we got new age stuff here, journey. I think that means that his teammates have seen him completely and that they've all, as teammates, fully embraced the whole process of, hey, I'm just a human being. This is wrong. This is right. This is how I want to do things. So that would show a healthy evolution. Mike, you're lying through your teeth. Now, I know, look, what do you want him to say? I get it. There's a segment of that. But, to say Mike McDaniel would be pumped if Tyreek Hill is voted captain is a lie. He should be embarrassed, like every fan of the Dolphins should be embarrassed, like the owner should be embarrassed if this team votes this guy who quit and has spent multiple times this offseason saying he wants out or trolling that he wants out. That's not a captain. Tyreek Hill's not a captain, but if I expect he'll be voted captain. And again, that's how you go 25 years without winning a playoff game. But Mike was asked, and he'd be pumped if Tyreek's captain, which I do not believe for a second. Then he was asked on if the Miami Dolphins will trade Tyreek Hill. And this right here, this is vintage Mike McDaniel saying a sentence that has a lot of words but doesn't really mean much. I can certainly say with certainty that at this certain moment, a lot of things can happen in the National Football League. So you throw no absolutes out there and then, hey, you said this, but yeah, we are fully planning to move forward as a better version of our relationship with Tyreek and the Miami Dolphins. I have no reason to think otherwise. Let's break this down. Mike McDaniel, I can certainly say with certainty at this certain moment. That's pretty much a troll, just like Tyreek saying the word certainly, certainty, and certain in one sentence. And you go, but here's the next part. A lot of things can happen in the National Football League. That's not a no. Because if you have no plans to trade Tyreek Hill, will you trade Tyreek Hill? The short answer is no. He didn't say no. He said a lot of things can happen in the National Football League, and you throw no absolutes out there. To me, that's the answer. Take out all the word salad shit that's all around it. That's his answer. So, again, can't trade him before June 1st. Come June 1st, this is going to be a story because he did not say no in that answer. Some of the other excuse me, some of the other questions with Hill, kind of repetitive, so I'm not going to go through them. Asked about the time frames regarding Teron Armstead and Calais Campbell. Here's what he said. First with Campbell. Both guys, there's a reason. There's some of our favorite guys. Great communication with both of them. Calais specifically is in a unique situation where he's assessing multiple options as a player in the 45th year of his career. Not really 45th. That's an old man joke. Okay, so I understand that there's a lot in play with regard to, all right, so your play is high. You decided to play another year. He's assessing those options. He was a very important player to the team last year, and I see him having an opportunity to be a very important player to the team this year. So pretty much they're giving Campbell time to make a call on what he wants to do. He also said he has some options. That's a position in particular that has been a focal point of mine this offseason. So pretty much he said, in a nutshell, because again, there's a million words here. I'm just going to sort of summarize this. Campbell has options if he wants to play. Will he? Yes or no? If yes, does he want to play in Miami or go somewhere that has a better chance to win a ring? And I think, and I'm going to talk about this later in the show, if he comes back and plays, I don't think it's going to be in Miami. I think it'll be a team like the Lions or the Ravens or something like that, where he has a chance to win a Super Bowl. But I'll talk about that later. On Armstead, he said, Teron, like I said at Indy at the Combine, it's important for me to operate as though he's unavailable to us. That's right there, the whole answer. Even if Teron wants to, they're prepared not to have him. He went on to say he's a consummate professional that has earned this opportunity to figure out what he wants to do with his life. However, I do feel in a reasonable amount of time I don't know, what's a reasonable amount of time? Reasonably, let's say 2 weeks. I just feel he's getting close to making a call on what he wants to do. He's getting closer to having a conviction, but we're in constant communication with him as well. And that's the thing with Armstead. I think what he said, what Mike McDaniel said at the Combine was very honest. He repeated it here. They're preparing to operate like he's not available, meaning they've moved on from him. So even if Armstead wants to play, they can still release him. I think it opens up $4 million, a cap space roughly, and they eat very little dead money after they redid his deal. So I think that is probably what will happen, because he was asked again, the next question, follow-up, he was asked if Armstead is okay coming back as a reserve or will he want to start? Guys, I am not going to read you this answer because it is like 10 sentences, a million words, and he didn't even come close to answering the question. So he didn't answer that because I think in his mind, he knows Armstead's not going to come back to be a backup. And I think they've already moved on to Patrick Paul. But literally, if you go and find the transcript of this, it is a ton of words where he didn't even come close to answering if Armstead would return as a starter or reserve to Patrick Paul. So I'm not even going to try to paraphrase it because there's nothing to paraphrase. On Zach Wilson, why did Miami sign Zach Wilson over more experienced quarterbacks on the market? Mike McDaniel, very honest here. To be quite frank, it's an inexact science, but we thought he was the best option for us. I think he was very much, I guess, you guys wouldn't know this. I guess you guys are flying blind, so let me help you. He was a direct, calculated target. We thought that was a way that the Miami Dolphins could get better, and we are excited to see how he seizes this opportunity. So pretty much he's saying, we wanted him, we targeted him, we were not going to lose him. They wanted Zach Wilson. And I know a lot of fans out there wish they got Marcus Mariota, Jimmy Garoppolo, go out there, sign Joe Flacco. They wanted other guys with more experience. I get it. I hear you. but they feel very strongly about Zach Wilson as the number 2 quarterback. And I'm sure they did their research. I'm sure they talked to a lot of people. So that's why they went with Zach Wilson over a more experienced quarterback. So that's straight from the horse's mouth, Mike McDaniel. There are a few other questions on things, but again, he really didn't answer them. He tap danced around them, which I have no problem with. I think more head coaches should lie. Honestly, if you're a head coach and you're standing up at a podium, someone asks you something that either you don't want to answer or you don't feel like talking about, just lie. Just say, make something up on the fly, harmless, obviously. Don't say something that's going to come back and bite you. Just lie. And because then later on, if that topic comes back, you can just say things change. So when I said it last time, that's how I felt. Now something changed. This is why, like, nobody cares. It's the ones like our last head coach, like I said, who'd be up there. You see the beads of sweat coming off his head. It's like, dude, it shouldn't be that tough. Just answer a question or don't tap dance around it, lie. So I give Mike McDaniel a lot of credit with how he handles the media. I know sometimes it can get annoying if you want a straight answer on something that is viewed as important, but overall, he knows how to handle the media. And if he wants to say a bunch of words and not answer a question like he did on the Armstead one, great. But for the most part, you gotta search through a long-winded answer to get to the point of the answer, but it's usually in there with Mike, and I give him a lot of respect for how he handles the media. Okay, before we get to the rest of the topics on today's show, a quick shout out to everyone listening at finheaven.com. Everyone go to finheaven.com, largest Miami Dolphins message board on the internet. Also, a shout out to our friends at the I Am a Miami Dolphins Fan Facebook page, run by the great and talented Carlos Hernandez. If you're on Facebook, please be sure you are part of the I Am a Miami Dolphins Fan Facebook page. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Podbean, Podchaser, YouTube, or one of the other hundreds of platforms we're on, subscribe. We're going to have shows pretty much every day of the week to get you between now through the end of the draft. Draft night, we're going to have live shows. Draft night, we're going to have post shows after the draft. We are going to break down the draft with Dante Calinelli, our in-house draft guru. We're going to have guests and other draft people talking. So make sure you don't miss an episode. Subscribe to the channel. All right. 2 more things here, then I'll wrap this show up. The NFL updated, tweaked, changed one of their rules today at the league meetings. I always call it the league owner meetings. It's the league meetings, this one. Teams are now in the past, up until like now, you could wear either your throwback uniforms with the old school logo, or you could wear alternate uniforms, like something new, cutting edge, creative, twice a year. You can pick any 2 games in the regular season to wear them. You can wear twice a year. Now they've updated it and changed the rules. You can wear it 4 times a year. That's right. You can wear it 4 times a year now. Any throwback uniform you want with an old school logo or an alternate. So if a team comes up with something new, they can wear that up to 4 times a year. I think this is great by the league. And the question now is, a lot of fans of the Dolphins on social media, because it is, March 31st. There's only so much you can talk about. So this is the time to talk about something like this. What will the Dolphins do? And I have an answer. And I wrote an article about this, a long article, actually. So go to the website, DolphinsTalk.com. You want to see what I said in full, but I will give you a summary here. Miami Dolphins, first off, screw the alternate uniform. Nobody wants an alternate uniform for the Dolphins. If the alternate uniform comes out, as bad as the one as bad as the logo we have now and our new logo, no one needs to see an alternate anything. So let's just cross off the alternate. I know some people want to see like all black or like all gray, silver gray uniforms or all black head to toe. No. No one needs to see the all orange. No one needs to see that. That's going to just go away. We're just talking about throwback with the iconic logo. That's what we're talking about. And I'm going to give the Miami Dolphins organization some free advice. Don't F this up. Listen to your fan base. Social media is a small focus group, yes, but that small focus group is overwhelming. I'd say 90 to probably 95%. The fans want the throwback logo full-time. They don't even like the new logo. They want the throwback logo full-time. Listen to them. Now you can give it to them 4 times a year. And those 4 games should be all home games. Do not let them wear it on the road. I know last year they wore it versus the Packers on Thanksgiving. That's okay. It's different. Holiday, Thanksgiving, national TV. that's fine. I have no problem with that. But for the most part, only wear it at home games 4 times. You can wear 2 times all white, 2 times with the aqua top, white pants, whatever. I don't care. Split up or wear it 4 times because this needs to be the first step in correcting this wrong. And the Miami Dolphins have to save the brand. Because what the Miami Dolphins had in the 70s, in the 80s, even into the 90s, was a winning organization that had an iconic logo and a great brand. And the logo was so iconic that you look at all the NFL, for those who weren't alive or maybe are too young to remember, just listen and learn, please. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when the Dolphins were good pretty much year in, year out. Yes, they had a down year here or a down year there, but they were, the model franchise that all the teams around the league looked up to. That logo was it's up there with the Cowboy Star, with the Pittsburgh Steelers logo, San Francisco I'll throw in, and probably Miami were like the 4 most iconic logos. Raiders as well, but the Raiders have moved cities so many times, I got to throw them out. Like, Miami was one of the 4 most iconic logos in the league, okay? And it's a perfect logo. And I know they changed it when Jimmy Johnson came in to put a new modern twist on it, but it was still close enough to what the old one was that it was like, all right, I didn't love it, but it's close enough to what the old one was. And then they changed it to this monstrosity that we have now. They need to go back to the old school logo. They need to go back to the old school logo full time. If they can wear 4 times a year, we'll take baby steps at this point before hopefully there's a change full time. Because here's the deal. That logo is so iconic that when you look around sports, there's iconic logos that never change or should be changed. The Yankees never changed their logo. The LA Lakers never changed their logo. The Boston Celtics never changed their logo. The Montreal Canadiens don't change their logo. The Detroit Red Wings don't change their logo. Alabama, Notre Dame, Penn State, they don't change. Some of them don't even have logos, but it's the point. It's an iconic look that's been around for 50, 60, 70, 100 years. You don't change it. The Cowboys never changed their star. The Steelers never changed theirs. The Dolphins should have never changed their logo and adjusted the color scheme a little bit every time they make a change. No. It's time to correct this. The only time this organization's had real success was when they had that throwback logo, throwback uniforms, throwback colors. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it full time. Your fan base, just look at social media. I know there's always going to be 1 or 2 people, and I'll get 1 or 2 people who will message me, send me a tweet, email me. You don't speak for me. I like the new one. Great, but you're in the minority. That's the point. You have to understand, if you like the new one, you're in the minority. It's time to listen to your fans, give them some goodwill. It's not like you ever win playoff games. It's not like you ever host playoff games. Let's do something for your fan base here, who are very vocal that they want the throwback uniforms and the throwback logo full-time. Well, we can't do full-time now. That's a process. I get it. You can do it 4 times a year. And just do it 4 times a year. Don't get cute with some alternate uniform no one wants to see. Just do the throwback uniforms 4 times a year. Don't F this up. Do something for your fan base. And this new rule gives them an opportunity to do that. Let's hope they are listening. Let's hope. Okay, last topic here is Calais Campbell. And like Mike McDaniel said, he's got options. He's weighing his options if he wants to return. If he doesn't want to return, does he want to return to Miami or does he want to go someplace where he has a better chance to win a ring? Blah, 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 blah. Here's my question. If you're the Miami Dolphins, free agency, they haven't made a signing in a few weeks, which I get. Most teams really haven't. You see 1 or 2 here trickle in. You missed the playoffs last year. You didn't finish 500. On your line right now, you got Zach Sealer, who's great, and Benito Jones, who is a career backup, nothing to brag about, and you got nobody else. Why are you putting, if you're the Dolphins, your offseason on pause, waiting for an answer from Calais Campbell? This answer might not come to June or July. Why are you not out there trying to add other linemen? Again, everyone you've signed this year, for the most part, it's either a 1-year deal, pretty much a 1-year deal for like literally no money. You're telling me you can't go. First off, if Campbell plays, he wants to have a chance to win a ring. If you're waiting for him, he's going to look at this roster and be like, your defensive line stinks. Why am I going to come back? You have Zach Sealer and nobody else. Like, I know there's the draft, but they're rookies. You don't know if these guys are going to be any good. They might be a bust. Raekwon Davis was a second-round pick. He stunk. I mean, he wasn't any good. So it's like you can't depend on the draft to fill holes and guys are going to come in and play right away as rookies. So there's that. He's going to look at this roster and be like, this roster stinks. I'm not going to come back to this. I'm going to go sign with the Ravens. I'm going to go sign with the Lions. I'm going to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles. I want a chance to win. So there's that. But if you sign a guy or two, and here's the thing, on the defensive line, there's a couple guys we're signing. John Jenkins was here in Miami for years past. I think he's already had 2 stints here. Bring him back for a third. He's a guy who can start, and you're not embarrassed by him. He's pretty damn good at nose tackle. That's someone. Linval Joseph, not embarrassing. Put him out there. Zadarius Smith is more of an end than a tackle. Okay, we need help there too. Like, if you add 1 or 2 of those names, again, 1-year deals, not a lot of money. You have $21 million in salary cap space. You only need to save $4 or $5 million for draft picks. Let's say 5. You have $16 million in cap space. You give these guys 1-year deals for $2.5 million to $3 million. I know they might want more, but if you offer them that today, they probably jump on it. Then Campbell might look at this roster and be like, wow, you got Zach Sealer, John Jenkins, Zadarius Smith. Yeah, let me go be a part of that rotation. Because here's the thing. Calais Campbell's going to be 39 years old on September 1st. He's already on a limited snap count. You think as he gets older, he's going to play more snaps? He's going to play less snaps this year than he did last year. So it's like, why are the Dolphins putting everything on pause, waiting for Calais Campbell? I get it. We love Calais Campbell. Who doesn't love Calais Campbell? He was great last year. Fantastic player, gave it his all, team leader, good guy, did everything the right way. You want him back. But you should, as they say with Armstead, we're preparing to move on without him. You should say this about Campbell. We've prepared to move on without him. Let's go add John Jenkins. Let's go add Linval Joseph. And if Campbell comes back, great. And then you take someone in round 1 or 2 of the draft, maybe round 3. Great. Now you got yourself a defensive line. Because if Campbell comes back, now you're still looking at Zach Sealer. Great. Benito Jones, who's a backup, and a 39-year-old Calais Campbell who gives you limited snaps. You still need more guys. So to me, I am very confused as to why the Dolphins have put everything on pause, it seems like, to wait for Calais Campbell. And I know, I'm not naive, that guys like John Jenkins, Linval Joseph, and Zadarius Smith will probably be free agents even after the draft. So let's get through the draft, see who we take. But again, they're rookies. Even if you take them, you don't know if they're any good. You don't know if they're going to make an impact year 1. There's still risk involved. So I know you can probably wait and sign those guys, May or June. But like, if you think Campbell's going to look at this roster and be like, yeah, they got a chance to win a ring. I want to go back to Miami with literally Zach Sealer as the only real lineman they got. No offense to Jones. To me, it's just, I don't get it, but I don't get a lot of things about this organization sometimes. Once again, that's why you go 25 years without a playoff win. It's just, I don't understand waiting for Campbell's answer. Like, address the defensive line. And if Campbell says he comes back, great. It's just one more guy. Put aside however much money you think it will take to sign him. And because I don't think he wants to come back anyways. I think if he plays, he's going somewhere else to win. But if you want him to come back to Miami, you better at least have a competent team, especially on defense, which right now is a joke. You got 1 cornerback. I don't think you got any safeties that are any good. And you got 1 defensive lineman. You better build up the team to make it enticing for Campbell to say, I want to be a part of that. But no, we're just going to wait. We'll sit in our hands. We'll wait. And then we'll go to the draft. And whatever we do in the draft, maybe we'll take Will Johnson in round 1, or we'll take an offensive lineman in round 1. Then round 2 or 3, maybe we'll take a safety. And then, we'll add someone for the line eventually in this draft, maybe round 2, maybe round 3, who knows? And it's like, yeah, that's going to really make Calais Campbell want to come here. Zach Sealer and a rookie nobody really knows anything about. It's just, I don't get it. I think the Dolphins should be proactive, move on with free agency here, sign a guy or 2. They're not going to break the bank. John Jenkins ain't breaking the bank. Linval Joseph will play for less than John Jenkins. And Zadarius Smith, probably, around the same. This is low money stuff here, and you got $21 million in cap space. Try to improve your defensive line, because if you're just going to go in there and bank on rookies, it's going to be a long season. I'll tell you that right now. Don't need a crystal ball to tell you that. All right, that's all for today's show. Again, the contest for a chance to win this Miami Dolphins draft hat, go to our Apple Podcast page, Apple Podcast, search for Dolphins Talk, put in a 5-star rating, and write up a positive review. then take a screenshot and then email to dolphinstalk1977@gmail.com, and you're entered in the contest. You got till April 7th. You have till April 7th. Go to the website, dolphinstalk.com, for all the latest articles we have up on the site, as well as some videos and podcasts, and on social media at any platform at Dolphins Talk. Everyone have a great Monday night. We'll talk to you again after a while. Folks, don't forget, we must put an end to highway profanity. Hey guys, Mike here from DolphinsTalk.com. Just want to thank you for watching this video today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this video. And also just thank you in general. I know you have a lot of other podcast options out there these days, whether it's with the Miami Dolphins or about the Miami Dolphins, and with non-Miami Dolphins podcast stuff like true crime, politics, NBA, Major League Baseball. We do appreciate the support you guys provide us, and we do thank you for watching our content. We appreciate it more than you'll ever know. So thank you so much. Just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, don't forget to sign up for our Patreon service. Go to patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. And for just $3 a month, you will get more Miami Dolphins coverage and shows. Patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. Thank you again, and everyone have a great day.